Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Tech Roundup podcast. I'm Ross Tradamus.
And I'm Claire Voyant. Tech Roundup is brought to you by Northridge Partners, the tech investment bank with over 20 years of experience across the Asia Pacific, covering aerospace and defence tech, software and AI, fintech and travel tech.
Quick reminder, we're AI creations, not real humans, so we can probably get away with things you can't.
You're hallucinating again, Ross, but seriously, today we're asking a harder question than usual. What does the world actually look like right now, not how we'd like it to be? And what does it mean for tech?
The answer, Claire, is that the relative stability of the post-Cold War era is over. And with it, the stable trade, free flow of capital and IP, and the relatively benign geopolitical backdrop we've enjoyed for so long. We've crossed a threshold, and we've entered unknown territory.
What makes this moment so different isn't simply tension, it's the simultaneous convergence of disruptions. War in the Middle East, Europe rearming, a more assertive China, and America retreating from multilateralism, and, drumroll please, the fastest technology transition in modern history, all at once.
And those combinations produce scenarios that used to be considered fringe. Taiwan, Hormuz, a bifurcated AI stack. Sovereign compute races. These are live boardroom conversations now, war-gamed in capitals and investment committees alike.
Any honest analysis starts in Europe. Russia's invasion of Ukraine shattered the assumption that industrial-scale warfare between major powers was a 20th century relic.
And Russia's isolation from Western tech supply chains has been instructive. Sanctions restricted access to advanced semiconductors. But instead of stopping Russia, they forced workarounds, smuggling networks, grey market procurement, Chinese alternatives, domestic improvisation. Russia also pursued financial engineering, the digital ruble, alternative payment rails, crypto-linked state activity. Pressure changes behaviour. It doesn't always produce compliance.
Meanwhile, Ukraine proved the other side of the coin. Cheap drones, autonomy, sensor fusion, software-defined systems, these reshaped the economics of war. Technologies that would have been speculative pilots are now being iterated in live combat. Adoption timelines have collapsed.
For Europe, the result is an historic rearmament cycle, and technology is no longer a sidecar to defence spending. It is central to it.
Hormuz is where geopolitical instability flows into the real economy. When it's threatened, the effects go way beyond oil prices. They ripple into aviation fuel, petrochemicals, shipping costs, industrial feedstocks, insurance premiums, and ultimately the cost base of tech companies worldwide.
Semiconductor fabs are energy intensive. So are data centres. So is reshoring. The old model of optimizing ruthlessly for efficiency is giving way to resilience, redundancy, and sovereign autonomy. That shift is structural, and it will cost a lot more to operate.
Taiwan sits at the gravitational center of all this. TSMC produces the overwhelming majority of the world's most advanced chips. That's not just a commercial claim. It's one of the central strategic facts of the modern world.
The Silicon Shield still has logic, but it may be weakening. The more the US tries to slow China through export controls, the more it accelerates China's determination to build around the constraints. And China's approach isn't just brute force scale, it's leaner training architectures, system-level optimization, materials science breakthroughs. Software can partially compensate for hardware constraints. Investors who think that export controls alone will determine the AI leaderboard are in for a surprise.
Let's get into what this means for the four sectors that Northridge covers. And we're starting with the one that has the clearest structural tailwind in the entire market right now.
Let's start with Aerospace and Defence Tech. Boom! The current defence cycle isn't just larger, it's qualitatively different. What's being funded is digital, autonomous, AI-enabled and software-centric. Startups and software-led challengers now have a real path in areas that were once impenetrable. Autonomous systems, tactical intelligence, electronic warfare, secure edge compute.
The rise of Anduril is the signal here. It's not an outlier. It's an early indicator of a broader realignment where defence depends on venture-style tech cycles. And here's the uncomfortable truth for founders. If your infrastructure powers autonomy, cloud-scale intelligence, or AI-enabled decision-making, you are already part of the national security base, whether you like it or not. And now let's have a look at software and AI.
Geopolitical pressure is accelerating AI investment, not slowing it. But the bottlenecks are real. Chips, power, land, grid access. Data centers don't run on PowerPoint. They run on electricity, and increasingly on vast amounts of it. Energy is now central to any serious AI investment thesis.
And AI is threatening the software business model itself. The SaaS apocalypse is real, not the end of software, but a structural shift which may just result in software companies selling outcomes rather than seats. What does this mean in practice? Workflow wrappers are vulnerable, but sector-focused incumbents with distribution, trusted data, regulatory moats, and the balance sheet to adapt can come out stronger if they move fast enough. One area that's a clear, durable winner through all of this is cybersecurity. In a world of adversarial agents and sovereign AI, zero-trust architecture is now non-negotiable.
Now to fintech. Money, like water, finds its way through. The more geopolitics fragments the financial system, the more valuable alternative infrastructure becomes. Sanctions, capital controls, payment friction, these don't eliminate financial activity, they reroute it.
That means sanctions screening, cross-border orchestration, stablecoin rails, fraud detection, and adaptive compliance all become more strategically important. The developing world matters enormously here. Markets like Africa and Southeast Asia are skipping legacy platforms entirely. And the crypto layer? Some of it is legitimate infrastructure. Some is speculative froth. Some is plainly connected to sanctions evasion and state-linked experimentation. All three can be true at once. Every geopolitical fracture creates a new plumbing problem. Fintech builds the plumbing.
Let's wrap up our sector review by taking a quick look at travel tech. You know, travel never dies, it just redirects. Geopolitical instability changes where people go, how far ahead they book, and how quickly pricing must adapt. And so long as COVID remains fresh in people's minds, no one's stopping travelling, perhaps unless the supply of jet fuel dries up while Hormuz is off limits.
In periods of instability, travel technology becomes more important, not less. Real-time risk intelligence, dynamic pricing, disruption management, alternative routing, these shift from nice-to-have to operational necessity. B2B travel infrastructure is especially resilient. Hotel suppliers still need distribution. Airlines still need demand intelligence. The intermediaries who can redirect traffic when the map is moving underneath you become far more valuable.
That's right, Claire. The travel sector is unbelievably resilient. The industry intuitively knows how to navigate through stormy geopolitical seas. I would argue that the massive changes we are seeing at the top of the booking funnel, with social media and agentic AI changing the public face of travel, are far more important than geopolitics. And it's playing out very quickly indeed. Before we close, 4 ideas that cut across everything we've discussed. First, sovereign AI. Governments want AI on infrastructure they control, under legal regimes they trust. That's reshaping where data centers get built and which software businesses end up inside or outside the perimeter of national trust.
Second, dual-use technology. The line between civilian and military applications is dissolving decisively. Ask honestly who else might want what you're building.
Third, energy. Compute is energy. Reshoring is energy. Any tech thesis without a clear view on energy access is missing the most critical input.
And fourth, resilience over efficiency. The defining shift of this era is the deliberate move from optimization to robustness. In the near future, some of the most strategically advantaged businesses will be those that help others make that transition.
So, the map has changed completely, but the compass still points toward innovation. The task isn't to predict one future with false precision. It's to build businesses resilient across a range of plausible futures.
That's all for this edition. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and to Tech Roundup, the monthly newsletter read by thousands of tech founders, CEOs, and investors globally.
See you next time.
And remember, we fake humans really rock.